appreciated. Waiting for people to join. All right. Let's see. Let's make sure that it posted. All right. I see folks joining now, which means I successfully posted the link. Let's see. Let's see. All right, we got folks joining. Hey, Gary. All right, everything is working. I'm trying to get these questions pulled up next to me. Let's see. Gmail. While everyone joins. All right. All right, all right, all right. How's everybody doing tonight? It's Monday, so, you know, I guess it's not Friday, but hopefully everybody is doing well. All right, more folks are joining. Awesome. Let's see. Q&A. Just trying to get these questions pulled up. I know somebody sent me a message. Okay, awesome. I've got a couple here. So I'll go ahead. Hey, I see y'all all join in. Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's always good to see when people start coming in because you're like, okay, good. The link posted, everything's working. Gary says it's a gloomy day in Illinois. Yeah, it wasn't bad here. It's warm. My house is kind of humid right now, though. I guess it could be freezing cold, so better. I like being warm better than cold. I'd rather sweat to death than be freezing. So, but you know, everyone's got their preference. So not too long before oh, I forgot. I have my phone flipped this time, so my camera's in a different spot. Okay. Not too long before we'll be heading out for this CDT. I was talking to Perk, and he is thinking about coming down here to Alabama probably Wednesday. And he's just going to come, and then we're going to kind of leave in a couple of days after that. Something that I want to make sure I do this time, I try not to I don't know, I guess, I do the live Q&As with y'all. I am going to this time make sure that I'm kind of updating you a little bit more as we go along. So also in between the Q&As, I want to do a better job of posting pictures, let y'all know where I'm at, you know, and things like that. Because I know there is such a lag time in the videos. So I know somebody sent that in kind of as a question, you know, can I do better updating y'all? And yes, so this time I'm going to do that. In addition to the live Q&As, you know, I might be posting in Patreon a little bit more. Maybe not the same stuff that I'm, you know, posting on social media, but just let y'all know some more of, you know, like the inside story of what's going on, more or less. So I am going to do more of that. But I'm going to go ahead and get into, y'all can go ahead and start posting questions here if you would like. It's kind of a whatever's on your mind. Oh, Darren says, finally getting to catch a live Q&A. Well, I'm glad. I try to, and especially on the trail, I'll try to do it at different times. So sometimes at night, and then if I'm in town during the weekend, I'll try to do some, you know, on the weekends too. But when I do them at night, I try to do them to where, you know, folks on the East Coast aren't going to bed too late, and folks on the West Coast, you know, have time to get home from work and stuff like that. But all right, so I'll go ahead with a question from somebody who thought that they might not make it. So, and then y'all can go ahead and start posting, hey Chad, stuff here, and you know, I'll go ahead and go between the two. So I've got a list over here on my computer. All right, let's see. Me and my best friend are planning our first hike this summer and are planning on doing approximately 63 miles, so 102 kilometers, in 7 days. And we were just wondering if it was realistic distance for two beginners. We are in shape, but never done anything else quite like this. Of course, it depends on terrain and yada yada, but they're just kind of, you know, wondering if that's reasonable. So it does depend a lot on terrain, but I can tell you from my experience on the AT that I did about 7 to 8 miles for the first few days, and then after, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 days I might have bumped up to 10. So that was more difficult terrain than say on the PCT, where I did you know, a little bit more than that. Of course, my knees were bothering me the first few days, but I just pushed a little too hard. So I would say that's definitely possible. You know, I didn't train before either of those trails, so I think that 63 miles in 7 days, you know, is putting you less than 10 a day. So it's definitely doable. If you do it for less, if you do less miles, you could probably enjoy, you know, more time doing the camping part of things. But if you're just trying to cover more ground, then yeah, totally doable. So for the most part, you know, I mean, things can happen. So it might be good if there's like a bailout point between those two and you decide you want to take a little bit more time to go ahead and like look at something like that. But yeah, that's not like crazy unreasonable or anything like that. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so somebody had a question about the inReach. Let's see. Let me find it. Okay, so I have not, I'm going to carry an inReach with me this time, but I have not looked up exactly the different subscriptions. There we go. So I think it's kind of like data plans are, like text messaging used to be. So you're allowed so many per month, or you can get the unlimited. I'm going to get the unlimited. That way, you know, my mom can message me as much as she wants to. I like that idea. So I will let y'all know more about that as I figure that out. That's something that's actually on my to-do list before I leave. So, all right, let's see if anybody up here has got anything yet. I'm alive. Yes, I'm alive. Okay, so let's see. Do you and Aaron have a plan worked out on how you will be editing and posting the videos? That is a very good question. So, yes, kind of. We just don't know if it's gonna work until we get out there, right? So, we'll be hiking together every day, pretty much, you know, I mean, more or less. Probably camping in the same areas. And so I'm going to be recording footage like I always do. We'll be working on some of it together. So he's gonna carry another camera and he'll have his phone too. So we'll probably work on more like time lapses and stuff like that together. Might try to get some like nighttime skies in there, you know, some star action that I normally haven't been able to get with my iPhone. So we're hoping that by both of us being there, it will improve things because we can kind of work on them together, you know. And so I asked him today, his degree was radio, television, and film, I think. I think that's what, that's, and then they turned it into media, something other, he said. It turned into a different degree. So that was actually his degree. So he is probably more handy, or he is more handy with a camera than I am. So I'm going to be learning more from him while we're out there. I'm pretty excited about that. I will be involved more in the editing process this way because before sometimes, well, most of the time, we didn't really talk about it a whole lot because he was at home and I was on trail and I wouldn't have service. So we might talk while I was in town, but you know, he might miss some of the things that were important to me, or that maybe I didn't get to tell him about, like, oh, make sure this is in there and this is why, you know. But he does a great job of understanding without me telling him what I want. So, but anyway, as far as the actual, like, how are we going to make it happen? So he's carrying a laptop. I will give him my footage that I got each day. So there won't be the same amount of time in town as far as like me uploading footage onto Dropbox and him putting it on his computer and then him trying to piece things together, and because sometimes I would I would say something a couple different times, and I wouldn't go through and delete what I had said multiple times, or if I was redundant, so he would have to go in, and so some of that he'll be able to do on trail. Of course, a computer battery is only going to last so long, but anyway, so he'll be able to do a little bit of that. So once we get to town, it's not going to take him as long to sit down and edit a video as it would if he was home. And either way, I would have to be in town to be blogging or to be uploading footage to him, so it's not really going to like slow us down any more than it would have if he wasn't there. So I hope that makes sense. We are going to have several videos lined up to come out, during the first probably month or so. So I said I'll let y'all have a better idea of where I'm at. I'll post some pictures just for y'all and things like that to let you know more of where I am in real time, I guess. But there will be a lapse in videos again, just to give us that extra wiggle room if we're not getting good Wi-Fi in a town, or any of that. And so I do have to go home for graduation, for my youngest sister's graduation in May. So that's going to happen again, and that week off, he isn't sure whether he's going to come back to Alabama, or he'll probably just stay out where he is to get some work done. So anyway, I'm going a little long on that, but yes, we do have more or less a plan. Obviously putting the videos out is the priority. So if we can't make it work, then I'll keep hiking and he'll get off and do the videos, but we'll just see. We'll see what happens. I think that we will be able to do it, and I think that it's going to be better with the two of us working together on every aspect of it, rather than just I do this part and he does that part. But we'll see. You never know till you try. So this will be something new for sure. All right, so let's see what else we got here. On the PCT, is Campo to Lake Moreno difficult for a newbie without a stop? Let's see, Lake Moreno. So you're saying like the first day go straight to Lake Moreno? Is that what you're saying, Philip? Because so I went to Hauser Creek, which is like I think 15 miles, 13 to 15 miles. I did not make it all the way to Lake Moreno, so I wanted to stop by the time I got to Hauser Creek. So I don't know. It really depends on you, but it's not unreasonable to a lot of people don't make it all the way to Lake Moreno their first night. So I'm not saying you can't, but it'll just depend on how good a shape you're in. But I would not force yourself to go there. Would plan to carry enough water to camp if you choose not to go all the way to Lake Moreno. So okay, let's see. Oh, and by the way, hi. Well, hi. Okay, I know it's weird. I keep looking at this side of the phone because I have my phone flipped up because I had it plugged in. So sorry if it seems a little awkward, y'all. Okay, I did my first practice hike for my section hike of the PNT this past week. I overestimated my need for food, which was rather heavy. How are you deciding how much food to start off with on your trip? Yeah. That happens. That happens a lot. People hear about this hiker hunger all the time, and you think like, man, I'm going to be starving to death, when a lot of times I shouldn't say overexerting your body, but exerting your body more than it's used to, you can actually end up just like not that hungry. I am not usually that hungry when I first start out, but it's hard for me to remember that because I always remember how much I was packing when I got off the trail. So this first stretch of the CDT is like 85 miles into Lawrenceburg, and I'm gonna have to have some self-control when I'm shopping for my food, because I know that I'm gonna be shopping with the hiker hunger in mind and then be in the same boat where I'm carrying way too much stuff. So I'm estimating it'll take us 6 to 7 days. I don't know, it looks pretty flat, but again, if your joints aren't used to that, you can wear them out. So yeah, I'm just, it's hard to do. I guess there are worse problems than having too much food, but But yeah, that is something that a lot of people do. They make the mistake of packing way too much. So I'm just gonna try to do my best. I don't know that there's really any specific way to prevent that, but all right, let's see. But that is awesome that you're already getting out there and practicing and learning these things on a section hike instead of, you know, during your through hike and wearing your joints out and stuff like that. So I hope you had a good time. I bet it was really pretty. Let's see. And well, I wonder, where are you practicing at? I'm just curious. Was it up there on the PNT or just somewhere else? Okay. Let's see. You'll love the view of the stars and the Milky Way from the Rockies. Yes. And I'm hoping to get some of that captured so that I can share it with y'all. I mean, of course, I would love for all of y'all to, you know, be out there and experience it for yourself. But that's one of the cool things about, you know, having a channel and putting videos out there is, you know, a lot of folks are like, doesn't it hold you back from enjoying yourself because you have to do this? And I'm like, no, because I love it so much, and it's like an art to me to capture some of this. And then the fact that there are people who can't physically get out there to enjoy it, so the fact that I can share that with them is just a really great feeling. So okay, let's see. Is Perk on his way from New York? So Ed, Perk is coming, I think, Wednesday. I think he's going to drive down here, and then we'll probably hang out for a couple of days and then start driving to New Mexico. So we're going to road trip there. Actually meeting a friend of Perk's in New Mexico who's going to give us a ride to the southern terminus, and I guess he's coming to hike too. So as far as I know, he's planning to go for the whole through hike. You know, he may or may not end up. This will be his first hike, but it's, you know, it's kind of like whatever, the more the merrier. So, you know, we're all out there kind of starting together, but everyone is doing their own thing. You know, it's like we're individually hiking together. So, yeah. Okay, so let's see. Could you discuss shelter etiquette and capacity on the AT? Okay, yes. So all of the shelters have a different capacity, and if you have something like Gut Hooks, or I'm not sure if Gut Hooks has the number. It probably does, of the capacity of the shelter. But the AWOL guide, the AT AWOL guide, does have like a recommended capacity. A lot of times you can fit more people than that. And at first, you know, people are like, oh, the capacity's 6 on a through hike. So they'll count, okay, 6 people are in there, oh well. But if it's raining, you'll see that people tend to make it work. And I know somebody asked a question, I don't remember if it was you or not, but about like, well, when it rains, like, do people expect for you to squeeze over? Yeah, I mean, I never walked up to a shelter and said, can you please move? Most of the time people were just like, hey, come here, we can squeeze in one more. But for example, in the Smokies though, the section hikers have first dibs over the shelters. So actually section hikers are required to sleep in the shelters in the Smokies. Like they're supposed to. And the through hikers can if there's any space left over, otherwise they have to tent. So they're at the shelter area. Now, because the section hikers have reserved it, I mean, you don't know if there's a reservation, right? I mean, there's not some magical sign that says like 6 have reserved this shelter for the night. So it could be that you get in there as a through hiker, get all snuggled up, and then a section hiker rolls up and is like, hey, sorry, I have reservations for the shelter tonight. So whoever the last through hiker in there is has to get out and go set up their tent. So it can kind of create a little bit of animosity between the section and through hikers and the Smokies, but it's nobody's fault. It's just the way that the system is, you know. So, but if you have a more specific question about the etiquette, let me know. I mean, you know, it's not a nice idea to be talking on your cell phone or to be playing music or to be smoking cigarettes or whatever else, you know, in the shelter with other people in there. I mean, basically don't do anything that like holds them against their will or makes them uncomfortable in there, you know. Just be considerate, you know. I mean, I think that's basically what it boils down to, is just be sweet. So all right, let's see. But if you have any like more specifics as far as shelter etiquette, I will be happy to answer that. So, all right, let's see. If you haven't already answered this, yes, Ched. Okay, could you give us a little personal background on Perk and Aaron? So, yeah, so Aaron, I was talking about earlier, he also went to Auburn University. He's from this area, well, from Alexander City, well-ish. Anyway, he's from the general area, and he went to Auburn University, and then, but he's an Alabama fan, ain't that something else? But we met and became friends. He was actually my boss. He likes to mention that and like rub it in. But he was actually my boss at Academy Sports and Outdoors. So once I got done with the AT and I came home and I was like, I don't want to be an engineer again yet. So I started just looking for part-time jobs, and I had a bunch of different part-time jobs. So one of them was at Academy in the camping department, because I thought, well, at least I can talk to folks about hiking and backpacking and camping. And so I started working there, and he was like a position over me. And so we just started talking, and I talked about the AT and about my videos and stuff like that. And then he mentioned that he had gone to school for radio, television, and video. I think that's what he said it was. Anyhow, so then he, you know, mentioned that he could help me with the videos and yada yada, and it just kind of all went from there. So then that's more or less how we became friends. But yeah, so if you want to know more about him, then but just you can just ask. But that's how we kind of ended up, you know, knowing each other. So then Perk, I met Perk on the AT, and Perk was in the Navy for 6 years, I believe, as a linguist, so an Arabic linguist. And actually his friend who is in New Mexico, who says he's gonna start with us, is a friend from the Navy that he hasn't seen since then. So Perk was just seeing like, hey, do you mind if I leave my vehicle in New Mexico with you while we do this hike? Because we just like road tripping better than flying for some reason. It's just more gradual, you know, you see the terrain change. You don't go from a busy airport to being tossed out on the terminus and just like, So, but anyway, yeah, so his friend is from New Mexico and knew him in the Navy. So, and yeah, so that's a little bit of background. But Perk is from New York. So yeah, if y'all have any more questions background-wise on them, I can try to answer it. But I'm sure as the videos come along, you'll learn more and more about them. And Aaron is in his late 20s, and Perk is in his late 30s, and y'all, I'm about to be 32 later next month. So it's kind of a widespread here. But and I imagine that Perk's friend is somewhere between my age and Perk's age. So all right, let's see. Let's see the next question. Hi Dixie, just want to wish you luck on your new venture with the CDT. Can't wait to start enjoying your videos of the hike. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm ready to get out there and to start videoing. Like, it's strange to me to be back in the normal world. I mean, it's been nice spending some time indoors, but honestly, when it comes this close, like I have so many things that I want to get finished before I head out that it's just like I'm dreading leaving, only because of all the things that I have to do between now and when I leave. But as soon as I get in the car and start the road trip, it's just going to be like this weight lifted off, and I get to go back to, you know, the simplicity of the trail. But let's see. Stickers will be there by Thursday. Awesome. Awesome. I love some stickers. So thank you for that, Ed. Let's see. I practice in the great state of Texas, which is not anything like the PNT. Okay. That's what I was like. I wonder, I bet that, that you meant in a different area, but, that's okay. It's good to get different terrains, and the fact that you're just getting out and like starting, you know, making sure your gear is going to work, getting used to the idea of carrying all that weight on your back. I mean, all of that, like doing all of those things to where they're not as new of a concept once you get out there, you know, for a stretch, is just, you know, I don't know, it takes a little bit of the stress away, I think. But okay, what was your typical total pack weight with water on the PCT in the desert and other areas? That's a good question. So when I left Scout and Frodo's, I think my base weight was, I think it was 32 pounds. That was with 2 liters of water and probably like 3 days of food. I don't remember exactly. But so it probably was probably anywhere from 32 to 40 pounds, if I had to guess, depending on how many days of food and how much I had, in between. Now, my base weight was around 15 to 20 pounds at any given time on the trail, I think. But I have more electronic equipment than, you would carry. So there's that consideration too. So, but yeah, I would say anywhere 30 to 40, something like that. But come to think of it, I think the most water I ever carried was 6 liters. That was only like one time though that I remember. So that would be over 12 pounds of water. Really like what, 13.2? Yeah, no, 13 point. Well, I can't math. I can't do math right now. Okay, but anyway, yeah, over 12 pounds. So yeah, if my pack weight was would have been around 28 with 3 days of food, plus 12, it would be 40. So it might have even been a little bit over 40, but not for most of it. So, all right, let's see. When you're passing through a town and resupplying or getting some grub, what do you do with your pack? So when you get to a restaurant, say, and like if you're just going to town, you're going to eat food and leave. It depends on the restaurant or the grocery store or whatever, where you're at. A lot of them have different rules. If it's a well-known trail like the AT or even the PCT in some areas. Now, when I go in the grocery store, unless they tell me not to, and I'm the only one and I don't have anyone to watch my stuff and I don't have it off at a hotel, I've got my pack with me, then I'm gonna put it in the buggy and push it around the store. I might put my resupply, try to put it in a basket up top so it, I'm clearly separating it from my pack so it doesn't look like I'm trying to steal stuff. Or they're more than welcome to search my pack if they feel like I've stolen anything. But unless they have a designated area, like please place your packs here, then I just throw mine in a buggy while I'm shopping. Now, at a restaurant, I try to get off to a corner where if I have my pack propped up against a booth, it's not in the way. But a lot of times folks will just set them in the foyer area. I've never had any problems when I do that. Or I have somebody watch my stuff, we'll take turns. So I'll go in and shop while Perk's watching the packs. And when I come out and I'm packing all of my food in my pack, he's shopping. So we'll do rotations like that sometimes, but yeah. So let's see. Oh, you're saying, okay, you said, I assume all places don't let you bring them in. Yeah, some places don't, but a lot of places don't say anything. So, Jim just got home from work. Awesome, Jim. Glad you could join us. Okay, let's see. Gotta put the kid to bed. Good luck, Dixie. May the brown sugar Pop-Tarts be with you. Yes! Those are my favorite. They're so good. Well, have a good night. I hope the baby goes to bed without any trouble. So, I know that when they go to bed, they're suddenly the thirstiest they've ever been in their lives, and they're just starving to death, and the monsters have appeared under the bed and all that stuff. I have 4 much younger siblings, so I know all about that. All right. Let's see. Hi, Dixie. Finally found the chat. Yay! I'm sorry. I think that Patreon will let me do live Q&As potentially straight through them now. So I might end up changing the way that we do this. It might be a little bit user friendly, but they didn't used to do that. So, but that's a side note. Okay. And I'll let y'all know if that changes and how it will change, but okay. Hi, Dixie. Finally found the chat. How many of your AT tramily do you keep in touch with? Do you hear from Riga? Is she or any of the other family doing the CDT? So Suzanne Perk is going to come on the CDT with us, with me and Aaron and one of Perk's friends. That's who all is starting right now. But I do keep in touch regularly through Facebook with, I would probably say, half of the tramily. I'm friends with, I think, all of them. Yeah, all of them on Facebook. But I guess I talk to Mountain Goat every few months or so. We'll interact. But Riga and I talk probably once a month. Sometimes we go through spells where we talk kind of regular, and then sometimes, you know, it'll be a month and a half before we talk to one another. But we call each other anytime one of us is driving for more than an hour. We call and talk to the other. So I would say Perk and Riga I keep in touch with the most, and then probably Mountain Goat. So, but yeah, we all do keep in touch. It's just not some more regular than others. So I wish Riga was going to do the CDT, but she lives in Colorado now, so I might get to see her when I go through. Okay, let's see. Hey, how did you lose your tooth? So for those of y'all who didn't know, I'll show you. So yeah, so I got in this fight and somebody punched me in the mouth. No, I'm just kidding. It's really a boring story, honestly. So I had all my baby teeth, and then no adult tooth there. And then this one was like a little peg tooth, and they had to like build it up. So it's just these right next to my two big teeth. And it's so funny because the 4 younger siblings I was mentioning, they all have a different dad. So they have, you know, who I call my dad is their dad. He adopted me when I was 7, so he's my dad. But my biological father passed away when I was like 2. And so my mom used to try to like put it off on him. She's like, oh, it must have been your dad's genes, you know. And come to find out, my youngest sister, Montana, is missing both of hers, and supposedly the dentist says it's genetics. So I'm like, you're the common denominator there, Mom, so you can't put it off anymore. And so we like to mess with her about that. But she's like, well, I'm not missing my teeth. But I have 5 wisdom teeth, so I have 2 up here. I still need to get those removed, but haven't done that yet. So yeah, great question. Okay, are you still planning on trying to take the graduation break before starting the San Juans? Yes, I imagine I want to get on the AT and the PCT. I had about between 400 and 500 miles done when I got off for graduation, so I'd like to be past that this time. Don't know. The first 700 miles of New Mexico look relatively flat to the other 2 trails, so hopefully I can have more done. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, if I could get up to the San Juans, you know, and then just be sitting around twiddling thumbs, you know, waiting for the snow to melt if there's a lot of snow. But last I checked, there was like a 70%, it was like 70% of the normal snowfall at this point. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's not going to be anything like the Sierra Nevada. Like the terrain may be rougher, but it's not going to be more snow. So, all right, let's see. Are you hoping that will help with the weather and snow? Yes. Yeah, I don't love walking in all that snow, but, so we'll see what happens. But that's why we're starting early, because this is definitely earlier than most people start the CDT, but it's because I want that buffer, you know, with videoing, with Aaron being out there, and then with going home for graduation, so. Are you watching any of this year's class of AT THRU-HIKERS on YouTube? You know, Dennis, I haven't been, and I don't mean to seem like a like a bad supporter of my fellow YouTubers and stuff like that, but honestly, I have been running around like a headless chicken, trying to get stuff done and get ready for the CDT. You know, every time I leave, well, last year and this summer, my brother will be staying at my house. And so I've been trying to get some more work done around here, and then, you know, get things caught up with the website, get my gear dialed in. There are a lot of things, I guess, more so behind the scene. You know, it's not just like, oh, let me throw this junk in my pack and start walking. I mean, it is like, that is actually its simplest form. But so I've just been doing so much that I haven't really had time to sit, and been working substitute teaching, and and trying to catch up with the family and stuff before I leave, because I've only been home for end of October. So wow, I really am struggling with math tonight. That's 5 months. Okay. So yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot, but why? If you have any to recommend, any that are good, then feel free to do so, because maybe some folks in here would like to follow some folks on the AT. But yeah, I definitely, like I said, I don't mean to be unsupportive. It's just, I just haven't had time. Okay, let's see. Tell me about a tent failure experience so I can learn from you. It's one of my solo hiking concerns. Okay. The only trouble I've ever had with a tent that I can recall is on the PCT, and that's because my tent developed holes in it. So it wasn't like necessarily my fault. It was either a bad batch of Dyneema or it was my fault from me like cowboy camping on top of it or keeping it outside of my stuff sack. So this time, not gonna do that. I'm gonna take probably a piece of Tyvek that I can cowboy camp on if I choose to, or else I just won't cowboy camp. And then my tent, I'm gonna keep it in the stuff sack to help protect it. And so we'll see what happens. But on the AT, I think the biggest tent failure that I saw was people would not watch where they were setting up. So they might set up like in a dip, like a divot, where when it rained, water collected there. So then they were camped on top of a pool of water. Not a good spot to be. So make sure that the area that you're setting up on is, you know, well drained or can drain well. And then also, when you set it up, you want to make sure that if you have like the body and then the fly, you want to make sure that it's like you're setting it up to where, you know, it's staked out well. You don't want it to be like saggy and baggy. Like you want it, I guess taut is maybe the right term, but you want it, you know, set up to where when you flick it, it's not like given, you know what I mean? It's not like a loose sheet. It's like you want it to, you know, be tight, stretched well. And then make sure you don't set up under any limbs, you know, like that look like they're gonna fall and knock you in the head at night while you're sleeping. So, I mean, don't set up under any limbs, but just like kind of make sure that the tree you're setting up under isn't just completely dead and, you know, it's hanging by a thread. So I think that's pretty much what I can think of right now. But if you have any more specific concerns about it, then let me know. Is Mayor going? Mayor is not going with me anyway right now. So Katana, his little dog, she, her eye is, like she has one eye left. She lost one when he thru-hiked the PCT in 2016. She had glaucoma, so she's a Shiba Inu, and I think that breed is susceptible to glaucoma. It's like one of the things from that breed. So she lost the first eye, and now the second one's going out, so she might have to have surgery to have it removed. So then he's got to decide, does he want to hike with a completely blind dog or not, and if he doesn't, you know, who's he going to leave her with? And so this kind of just sprung up at the last minute. And then also he's working on his book from the PCT, so he really wants to get that out as soon as possible, or at least have like a good draft of it. So he might end up just going southbound. And he wanted to go southbound anyway. That was something that we had debated back and forth, you know, and I was like, I'm going northbound, like that's what I want to do. And, you know, southbound is what he wants to do because he didn't get to finish it last year because of the snow, so he felt defeated, you know. So I get it, and I'm supportive of that decision for sure, you know. I mean, we didn't start the the Crippled Crown journey. We didn't start the Triple Crown journey together. It's something that, you know, we both want, so it's like we are both supportive of the other's desire to get that, and however, you know, they want to do it. So it's like, I don't want him sacrificing what he really wants to end this journey that he's been working towards for literally years, and, you know, he doesn't want the same for me. So anyway, if he does hack it this year, he'll be going southbound, and I told him we'll just, like, you know, high five as he goes by as we pass each other. But anyway, so yeah, I'm not sure yet if he's gonna hike, and if he does, he'll be going southbound. But if he decides not to, then, you know, hopefully he'll be able to come out for a stretch and visit, because I told him he's more than welcome to anytime. So we'll just see what happens. All right. Hi, Dixie. You mentioned you were excited and nervous about the CDT THRU-HIKE. What worries you the most? Good question, Jim. Honestly, not finishing. I mean, that's I guess kind of obvious, but like I'm so stubborn, you know, that it would have to be a pretty tragic situation for me to not finish, and it scares me to say that because it's like, I'm not finishing no matter what, you know. And it's like, you can never say that because there are things that could get anybody off trail. But yeah, it would have to be something pretty traumatic for me to want to abandon it. I guess the snow, you know, like extreme snow, that scares me, not making it in time. Something that I worried about, you know, even on the other two. So yeah, I mean, it is something that concerns me. Grizzlies, you know, and rattlesnakes too. Like, I hadn't even thought about rattlesnakes until I saw something on Facebook. I think it was yesterday or today, of a man whose hand had been bit and it was swollen up. And I was like, man, I hadn't even thought about rattlesnakes. And now somebody's got to bring it up. So yeah, I'm getting notifications here of somebody on Patreon is commenting. Oh, let's see, Carl. So Carl, if you can hear me, it seems like you must be watching this. I think you're commenting on Patreon instead of it on the box on YouTube. So I'm not seeing your comments. So yeah, let's see. Not sure I would be able to see live. Okay, and then somebody else asked a question there. Yeah, so if anybody is commenting and it doesn't seem like I'm getting it, if you make sure that you're on if you click the link for YouTube, that you're commenting on that page and not on Patreon. I know it's kind of confusing, but hopefully I can remedy that in the future and make it a little bit better. So I'm going to go to a question that somebody commented here, Jeff, and he says, I'm retiring in 2 years and plan on through hiking the AT. Have already section hiked most of Georgia and some of North Carolina. The anxiousness is killing me to start. Was it the same for you, and has it been the same with the PCT in your upcoming hike? Secondly, if you were starting the AT over again, what would your start date approximately be? So it kind of ties into Jim's question about being nervous. Like, yes, that is normal. In fact, I think that it would be very abnormal if you weren't nervous at all. So just the idea of it being completely something new. And for the CDT, you know, I don't have that, oh, it's new, but I still have, like, it's new terrain, it's new mountains. I don't know the San Juans. I'm not exactly sure what the snow is going to be like there. Because it's a low snow year, am I going to be carrying 1 million pounds of water? You know, so it's all those thoughts are going through my head, and the rattlesnakes and the grizzlies and all that. But this is where practicing, like, facing those fears is such a good thing, because you know, you can't ever have too much practice with that. So it's like, man, if I can go out and hike the CDT and face grizzlies and rattlesnakes, and like, I can do a job interview and not get nervous. I can do, you know, I can have an uncomfortable conversation with somebody and learn to be not necessarily confrontational, but like not afraid of confrontation. You know, just things that in life it can help you a lot. You know, just going through the exercise of being afraid of something and then facing it. And so yeah, Jim, I am concerned about things. And yes, Jeff, that's completely normal to be anxious. And you're 2 years out, so don't get over the top 2 years out. You know, I didn't start planning mine until a few months before the AT, and hadn't had any experience. So so you'll be all right. You'll be all right. And then he said, if you were starting the AT over again, what would be your start date? So probably about the same. You know, I started March 29th. I got off trail twice, once for graduation and then once when my dog passed away. So, and I took a lot of zeros. So I think that was enough time. I pushed it towards the end because of those things. So I definitely wouldn't have started any later than that, just because I like that cushion of what if, you know, happening. So probably then. Maybe if I started earlier, maybe mid-March, but that's probably as early as I would want to start. So, and then Carl said, dead limbs, speaking of which, you'll find huge sections of Colorado and Wyoming that have pine beetle kill whole forests. The trees are deadfall hazard. Be careful and be aware. Thank you, Carl, for that. Yeah, there was a lot of that on the PCT. I think it was burn area, but some of it might have been beetle kill. And yeah, so that is definitely something you want to watch out for, you know, especially if it looks stormy. You know, you've got to pay attention to those little things. And I'm going to try to remember to, you know, like point some of that out, like some of the mindset of picking where I'm going to camp and stuff like that while I'm on this trail. So maybe that'll help some people. to recognize those things. But okay, let's see. Cindy said, this is such an exciting time. My question is, being that you will leave the trail again this year, will you and the guys be staying together throughout? Will Perk go on his own? What is the predetermined plan? Because I know you've all discussed it. The CDT is such a mystery in my mind. I can't wait to get a look at it through your eyes. Well, thank you. And I'm really excited to share it. You know, I told her that if I go home, he's more than welcome to join. I certainly, you know, I'm very much a believer of hike your own hike. So while I would love to stick with Perk, you know, I certainly would understand, especially with him having a friend going, if they decide they want to keep pushing, then that's fine. Honestly, it's kind of a win-win in a way for me if he hangs out and waits and I have my friend Perk around. And if he doesn't, then I have a report firsthand from somebody that I know and trust going through the San Juan. So, you know, it was the same with the Sierra Nevada. Aaron and I will stick together because, I mean, you know, because of the videos. So, and because, you know, why not? Because he doesn't want to be alone and I don't want to either. So, so yeah, we'll definitely be sticking together. So I won't be alone. I'm not sure that Aaron's going to go home when I do. He may just like hang out west there, or Midwest, whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. So I'll know as we get closer. But yeah, we have discussed it, and as far as I'm concerned, everybody can pile in a rental car and we can drive back to Alabama and hang out for a week or so. But it'll just depend on what they want to do. So, okay, Thomas asked, is there a similar application like the PCT gut hooks for navigation? So yes, I have gut hooks for the CDT, and then I'm also going to have Jonathan Lay created some maps for the CDT, so I'll have those, and I'll probably be comparing the two because I've heard that gut hooks isn't as accurate for the CDT as it was for like the AT and the PCT, so so I'll be kind of using both of those. And then also he said, what did you do for training? How are you feeling physically this time out and emotionally? So physically, I feel like I'm doing better than I was on the PCT, but I don't know if I'm just lying to myself as far as before the PCT. But, you know, I was waitressing and bartending then more, so I was probably on my feet more, so I might be lying to myself. You know, I've just been substitute teaching this time as far as work goes. So I don't know. I feel fine. Well, my shoulder, I don't know. I think maybe I mentioned that to y'all last time that something in it kind of twinged when I was on the PCT. So I went to physical therapy for that. And y'all, actually, they wanted to do dry needling in my shoulder. And I was like, if you think it'll help, like, I'm down to try it, you know. And so they put 2 needles in there, and I give blood, y'all. I'm not afraid of needles. They don't like freak me out. But next thing I know, I was getting dizzy and hot, and I was like, and that guy was like, are you okay? And I was like, well, at first I was like, I mean, maybe so. And then I was like trying to have a conversation with him to like stop dwelling on the fact that I was hot and like getting dizzy. And the next thing I know, he was like, why don't you lie down on the table? And I was like, okay, and I went to lie down, and next thing I know, I'm waking up, and 2 guys had helped me get up on the table, and I had just passed out. I didn't even know I was in the world for a brief moment. I even like had a little dream, and everything was crazy. But they said I wasn't out long. They just had to elevate my feet. Whoop, I came right back. But so yeah, I didn't do that anymore. But it's feeling a little bit better. But I know some exercises now, at least, that I can do while I'm on trail. Again, I don't know what I did to like injure it. I think it was just from, you know, doing the same thing over and over, just repetitive motion. So I don't know, we'll see. So other than that, I'm feeling great physically. So yeah, all right, I'm gonna move back up here and see what questions we've got. Let's see. Keeping over tree line. Is Mayor going? Okay. Camping over tree line. What did you mean by that, Jim? I just want to make sure that I understand what you were saying. Okay, let's see. Yes, snowfall is low this year. Yep. Are you going to carry bear spray? I'm not going to carry bear spray to start with. I'll probably pick it up when I get into grizzly country. For a while, I was like, no, I'm not going to carry that. You know, I've gotten comfortable in the AT and the PCT, but I'm gonna do it. So yeah, I will definitely get some when I get up there to Glacier or once I hit grizzly country. So let's see. Recommend everyone check out Jake Hikes on his AAT vlog. Great videos, and he is a super cartoonist. Oh, cool. All right. Well, there you go. There's somebody recommended on the AT. I can't wait to get back out on the AT sometime. What is your plan for dealing with grizzlies? Hey, darling. Bear spray. No more hey, darlings. I'm going to really try to not like look a grizzly in the eyes and have a conversation. Yeah, I'm going to carry bear spray. Definitely no bells. I can't deal with that, but I'm going to carry bear spray. Aaron asked, is there any advantage to going Sobo on the CDT? You know, it really depends on the year from what I understand. So I've heard that the CDT southbound is easier, but I don't know what people mean when they say that. I mean, with going southbound, once you hit New Mexico, you could finish basically whenever you want. You know, you don't really have to worry about a deadline. Going north, hitting Montana, you need to finish probably, I guess, end of September. I don't know. It depends on when the snow comes in, right? So, so you have not getting through the San Juans too early if you want to go in the San Juans and not take like the low route. But then you have to make it to Canada in time, right? So, but going southbound, I guess you get through all that, you know, but the thing is, once you hit Colorado, if they get snow early, then you could get in trouble there, and that's what happened with Mayor. But especially the San Juans, I think a lot of the southbounders end up missing out on the San Juans because, you know, if they take too long to get there, then the snowstorms are already coming in and it's just dangerous, so they have to take the low route. So, but there's still the option of the low route if you get to the San Juans, right? So it just seems like you have less of a time crunch going southbound. But I don't know, man. It sounds ridiculous, but once a no-bo, always a no-bo, you know, and I guess that's just me being silly, but that's just the way I want to go, you know? So I think it's beautiful. It's going to be like beautiful, sure, in New Mexico in its own way, but I feel like, you know, that Montana is just going to be even more amazing. So for me, I just would like to go from desert to Montana, and, you know, for no other reason than I'm weird and that's what's in my head. So, okay, let's see. What is your athletic background? Love your milestone marker poses on the PCT. You have great creativity and balance working on any poses for the CDT. Thanks. Okay, athletic background. not a whole lot. I mean, in high school, in middle school too, I did track and cross country. Not cross country wasn't until high school, but track, and I was a cheerleader. And just because I couldn't be a football player, so, you know, you had to be on the football field somehow on a Friday night, right? So I was a cheerleader, and I think that's it. You know, I was never like in soccer. I played soccer like in PE and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I can walk real good, but that's that's about what I got. In college, I didn't do really any activities. I didn't really run a whole lot after high school or work out or anything like that. So that's about it. That's about all I got. I can walk real good. Let's see. Okay, yeah, Carl. I see Carl did comment in here. So all right, I'm glad to see you here, Carl. Let's see. So how much harder is the CDT as compared to the other two? That's a great question that I can't fully answer right now, but once I get done, I'll tell you. But no, so apparently it's as exposed as the PCT, so you don't have the green tunnel, you know, more exposure, potentially less water, like in the desert and all that stuff. But the same, like, up, down, as the AT, where the PCT is, you know, more gradual. So I think that it's going to basically be the harder features or things, you know, about each trail the AT and the PCT combined. So, and it's longer. And this is why I have my phone turned the way I do, because it's trying to die on me. So let me plug it in real quick. Sorry, y'all. I might have to readjust here real quick. Don't want to lose y'all. Okay. I'm going to get a little bit more up close and personal here. Oh, okie dokie. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Is it easier to do the AT southbound or northbound? Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess it just depends on what easier is to you. So I've only done it northbound, so, you know, I'm not 100% sure. But I would say that, you know, if camaraderie and having more people around you helps you and makes things feel easier than northbound. There are less people going south, but, you know, if not being sucked into the vortex and being talked into taking zeros by people that you're hiking with, then maybe southbound. I mean, it's basically the same trail. I'm sure that somebody has calculated elevation change, you know, going both ways, like as far as, are you climbing more, you know, going southbound than north, and so I haven't looked into all of that. As far as the time frame goes, of course, you're gonna have more time going southbound, because once you get out of, you know, the northeast, you can really take your time. I mean, yeah, Georgia gets cold and the Smokies get cold, but they're doable, you know, until you just get a big dumping of snow. But so the time frame is not as tight going southbound for sure. So it just kind of depends on, you know, what you consider easier or better for you. I've heard that the CDT is not as easy to resupply. What strategies are different than the AT or PCT? So I am probably going to rely more on food drops from my mom. I mean, I hear the same thing, that the towns are a little more, I'm like trying not to hit this phone cord. I've heard that the towns are a little smaller, and I'm like, what, than the PCT? Because, you know, some of those towns were pretty little. But I'll let y'all know, you know, once I get done for sure, like what towns I would say, yes, you need to resupply. But mostly even the little bitty places have a post office, right? So I can definitely get in food drops. But coming southbound, Mayor said that he was able to resupply in every town. So, and he made it to Colorado somewhere, like I think 1,200 miles in. So I know that section you can resupply from the trail. Again, you'll have better selection if somebody sends you something, but I haven't sent anything to myself yet. I'm just going to kind of wing it as I go. Okay, let's see. I vote yes for video of the road trip out. All right. Yeah. You know, and maybe even that's something that I can like share with y'all, even if it's not, you know, on the regular videos or whatever. At least I can, you know, even if they're not something seriously edited, just a little something that, you know, y'all can see what's going on. I'll definitely post some pictures and stuff if y'all want to see that. I feel like I don't want to like blow y'all up on Patreon posts, but if y'all want to see more of stuff like that, you know, when we're on our way out there and all that, then I definitely will do that. So I guess it sends you an email every time I post, and I don't want like 20 emails in your inbox being like, Dixie's trying to notify you, Dixie's notifying you. So, but if y'all are cool with that, then I definitely will. So, okay, let's see. It's easy to display. Howdy, Joe. All right, let's see. What are you most looking forward to? What landmarks and sites do you want to see the most? I want to see the Wind River Range. That's definitely something that I am looking forward to. Some of the 14ers in Colorado. Somebody asked about the high point before. Probably will hit that because I think it's pretty close. So honestly though, I'm looking forward to catching up hopefully with some of my friends while I'm in Colorado, just depending on our time frame. But just looking forward to like seeing different states, you know, and the fact that something that's kind of cool is when I quit my job and said, that's it, I'm getting out of this rat race and I just want to go hike and think about things for a little while. You know, I was in Colorado when I decided that. And so it's kind of neat that that's where the idea for this journey all began. And now I'm going to be walking back through there as I'm like, whoop, finishing up the Triple Crown, you know. I don't want to say finishing up the journey because definitely not done hiking after this. But yeah. So let's see. Was watching some 2018 AT hiker videos today, and they were saying your videos are what inspired them to hike the AT. That is awesome. That is so cool to know. You know, everybody who does anything, they likely got the idea, you know, a seed was planted by somebody, or they were inspired by somebody else, or, you know, we've all had somebody in our lives that has inspired us. And so to know that I could pay that forward just one time is like, is good. That's cool. Thank you for sharing that. That's really neat. And I mean, the AT just changed my life. But okay, let's see. Triple Crown in one direction, then Triple Crown the other. Hey, that's a possibility. I don't know. I feel like folks are getting tired of seeing the AT and PCT and CDT over and over, but maybe not. Maybe if it was southbound, you know, I mean, of course, it'd be a different journey even if I went northbound again. But I kind of want to do some overseas stuff, so we'll see. 70-mile stretch over 14K on CDT. How do you feel about camping at higher elevation? Are you carrying more cold gear? Nope, not really carrying anything much colder. I might carry some base layers to hike in once I get higher up in elevation. And I mean, it's going to be a gradual thing, so I won't, you know, yes, at some point I will hike up to 14,000, but like, the weather and everything at a certain elevation, you'll start noticing a change. So if I get chilly one night, the next time I hit up a town, I'll be sure to, you know, get something warmer in or get it sent for the next stretch or something like that. So War Eagle. Okay. So anyway, let's see. But no, I'm not really worried about camping at higher elevation. I mean, I wasn't on a 14er except for Mount Whitney on the PCT, but for some reason, I don't know. That is one thing that I guess through hikers have over section hikers that are going to such higher elevations is that you have more time to acclimate because you don't generally go from 300 feet, you know, to 14,000 in a day. So you have a little bit more time. What's your hoped for itinerary dates? I would like to start like March 31st. For some reason, I just want to start in March. And I'm hoping that, you know, maybe it would only take 5 months. That'd be great. Judging on my track record, that hasn't been the case. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I want to take my time at the beginning, get myself broken in without breaking myself. And, you know, and then just kind of go from there. So I would love to finish September 1st. I don't think that will happen, but that would be great. If I could finish September 1st, I would love that, just so I don't have to stress about the snow. Are you still using the iPhone 7 or did you switch up to the 10? Both will take video in 4K. Yeah, I have the 10 now. And I'm not sure if Aaron, he was thinking about getting the 8 or the 10, but I have the 10 now. So, you know, I went ahead and upgraded. It was time for a, what do they call that? Upgrade. So I went ahead and did that because I just, yeah, you know, it'd be better video. So it takes better pictures for sure. Are you taking 2 phones on the CDT and will you take any paper maps and a compass? I'm just going to take the 1 phone. I did like having 2 to do time lapses and stuff, but with Aaron being there and he's taken a camera also, I think that will be good. But, you know, if need be, I'll have my mom, it's just that it's an iPhone 6, so I'll have her hold on to that. I've got like this box of stuff that I take her and I'm like, here, I might ask you to send any of this stuff to me at any given time. And then, you know, she does it and I need to still get that box together. But, so that'll be one of the things for sure that I keep in there. And as far as the compass goes, yes, we'll probably start with that, or if not right away, then the San Juans probably for sure. Just anywhere I'll be in snow. So I might not start with one, but yeah, probably the San Juans. And I'm taking my InReach, so that makes me feel really good. Let's see. Whoop, I scrolled too much. Sorry, y'all. Okay, Okay, there we go. Yes, blow us up. Okay, Ed, ask for it. Yes, lots of pics and videos. Okay, awesome. I'm glad to know that, because I don't know. I guess I just, felt like, I don't know. I didn't want to, like, do too much. But I guess that's why y'all are here, because you're interested. So, and you can probably turn off notifications. Okay, can you do a drop from Amazon to a GPS location on the road at a defined time? I don't know. You mean like literally on the side of the road somewhere? I don't know. Does anyone know that? If you can do that. I mean, I can get Amazon stuff sent to post offices. So that's normally what I do, like, shoes or anything that I need, I'll order on Amazon. And then sometimes I add stuff on that wish list. Okay, let's see. Dixie, given the choice for different routes on CDT, will you pick a longer or short trail given a choice? I hear hiking the entire 3,100 miles is almost impossible. Yeah, so they have like the set trail, but it's not even like completed really. And then some more beautiful things are along the alternates. So it's not really black and white like it is on the AT. To be a purist. So for me, as long as I get from Mexico to Canada along the CDT or one of the alternates, then I'm good with that. It's not a completely strict, this is the trail. There's so many different alternates, and yeah, most people do, I think, like 2,800 miles or so. So I wouldn't say that I would opt for something just because it's shorter. Water will be a priority for sure. The beauty. So things that I'm seeing, because I'm out there to capture the beauty and to enjoy the beauty. But yeah, I mean, if it's like one stretch is longer and drier and ugly and the other one's short and beautiful and has water, going with the short one. So yeah, it'll just depend. And that's something else that I might try to mention, why I'm choosing what I'm choosing. But let's see. Are you dreading the road walks on the CDT? Not really. I'm not a person who despises road walks. Watch, I say that, and then you're going to see on a video me being like, another road walk. But I don't know. I like when it changes up. So if it's a little trail on the side of a mountain for a while and then it turns into a big like gravel road, then that's kind of exciting because it's just something different. I don't know. So as of now, no, I'm not dreading those, but I might hate them later. Where are those homemade Wanderlust bandanas? So I'm working on t-shirts to start with, y'all. It is difficult. Like I've looked into ways to do it through drop shipping because and my website has WooCommerce. That's like what I use. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to set up like a separate store, but I need some place that will drop ship things because I'm not gonna be here to mail them out. So if anybody knows about drop shipping and hooking that up to websites and different companies, I'm all ears. You can message me. But so I'm still working on all of that, but I'm gonna start with t-shirts and see how that works and then build on that. What I'm thinking I'm gonna do, because I want to hold something before I have it for sale with my brand on it, so probably gonna get some t-shirts done, send them here. When I get home for graduation, I'll check them out and look at them and everything, and if I like them and the quality and all that, then I'll go ahead and post them up then. So or I could get my mom to send them to me on trail. So but anyway, yeah, so just the idea of the drop shipping, because I won't be here, that's hung me up. And I've looked at a couple of websites and different companies, but putting that into the website is like the drop shipping, and then finding one that's compatible with the commerce that I'm using on my website. So it's kind of all over my head, and I'm learning. So yeah, if there's anybody that's a pro on that stuff, let me know, because it's been a huge learning curve for me. Okay, let's see. Any major gear changes from the PCT? Not really. Not my big three. Still using the same sleeping bag, tent, and pack. So yeah, pretty much the new. Some of the new with the recording stuff. I'm gonna have a different mic, or I'm gonna carry a mic to try to help with sound. I'm trying to think of anything else that's majorly changed, but not really. So I am gonna post a video up about all of my CDT gear before I go. So all right, let's see. At work, just got signal, just popping in to say good luck. And you cursed me with the RT. Don't cuss me and my family and everything I believe in. Okay, Dixie, first time here. Just wanted to say thank you so much for everything. You are such a huge inspiration to me. Thank you for all you do. My boys and I watch you 3 and 6 and we love your videos. I'm glad to hear that, Jessica. And cool name, by the way, because that's my birth given name. That's why I don't like to have ugly things in the videos and stuff like that. You know, I want people to be able to watch it with their families, and I don't want, you know, any surprises. Now in the hacker terms ones, I guess a couple of gross terms have popped up, but most of the time I don't say ugly things, and that's exactly why, because everyone should be able to watch this. You know, I've had people message me and say they show the videos at their school and stuff, and I just don't. And the comments I make sure that people aren't ugly in those too. So anyway, I'm glad to hear that y'all are watching it and enjoying it. That's cool. Maybe y'all can get out and hack 3 and 6. That's I mean, what, Ellie on the AT, they took their, what was she, 11 months old? So yeah, I think that she was 11 months old when they started. But I guess at 3 he's probably wanting to walk more on his own now. So, but you never know. Maybe the 3 of y'all can get out there sometime when they get a little bit older. That would be really, really cool. All right, what are points on the CDT, like similar to McAfee Knob or Glacier Point? Don't know yet. I know maybe that sounds bad, but I kind of take these things like as a surprise. So of course, research enough to get out there on the trail, but like McAfee Knob, wasn't even hugely familiar with it when I set out on the AT. I mean, I'd heard of it, but I didn't watch anything beforehand. I didn't, you know, research and look at pictures a whole lot because I just kind of wanted to be surprised when I got there. So the Wind River Range, I've seen pictures of it, and it's amazing. So I think that's the thing that I'm really looking forward to the most. So, all right, good. I got a just kidding and a War Eagle from the one that said awful world time to me. Okay, let's see. Really glad you will have an in-reach this time. We can all worry less. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you worrying, but I promise you that my mom does enough for for everybody for a lifetime. But okay, I've got another question over here from somebody who wasn't going to be able to make it, so I want to get to that one. In poor weather especially, there seems to be an interesting dynamic at AT shelters. Okay, so this was the about the shelters on the AT. So let's see, was this work on the weekends when non-through hikers were also wanting to use the shelter? Okay, so yeah, we went over that pretty much. And John, if you feel like I didn't cover it well enough, then message me about that one. So let's see if there are any more. Would love to know more details about what you did directly after the AT. Where did you hike to right after Katahdin, and where did you stay? How did you coordinate travel home, etc.? Thank you for doing these Q&As for us. Okay, so yeah, when I got done with the AT, I summited Katahdin, came down, and actually at the time, my ex-boyfriend came and picked me up, and we went to, oh Lord, I'm trying to think, was it Millinocket? Is it Millinocket? I can't even think right now. I think it was Millinocket. One of those M's in Maine. So we went there, and it's the place that I think most people go when they finish. Stayed at a hotel there, and then just road trip back. So he drove up in a vehicle to get me, and I mean, we were still friends and everything. So anyway, yeah, that's what we did. So I think a lot of people end up taking a bus, or they might go to Bangor, or you know, just different people do different things. So that's, I think I went to the high point. I want to say it was in Rhode Island. I don't remember for sure. Yeah, I think it was Rhode Island though, because I wanted to hit up Delaware and Rhode Island because those were 2 states in the Northeast that I hadn't been to yet. So we did go through those, and he actually had a friend in Delaware that we went to visit. But so I think it was the High Point, Rhode Island that we hit. But anyway, and then the only 2 backpacking trips ever that I've been on, overnight backpacking trips, are the AT and the PCT. So I've done day hikes since then, but those are the only, like, put everything in your pack and hike with it on your back. So hoping that I can get the Triple Crown in my first 3 backpacking trips, but we'll see. So, all right, I'm gonna come back up here. Let's see. Let's see. If you're a Prime member, I believe you can. Yes. Wow, I did not know that about certain GPS location and having stuff dropped off. That's really cool. Thank you for telling me that. I might have to look into that more. Although I do enjoy going to town, can't lie, because I really like to be able to bathe and stuff. So I don't know that I'd want everything dropped off right at the road, but if there was a road that I wasn't planning on going into town and needed something, that would be a really cool option. I bet all the folks who THRU-HIKE back in the day are like so spoiled. These people today are so spoiled. Can't wait to see how your journey goes on the CDT. Good luck and have fun. Thanks for everything. Thank you, Kevin. Let's see. Be sure to trademark your logos, designs, etc. Yeah, I guess that is a good idea. Probably. Bye and good luck, Dixie. Early day for me tomorrow, so I have to bail, post away, and definitely include the road trip. Safe travels. Awesome. Well, I'm glad to know. Sweet dreams, and thank you for the well wishes. And maybe I'll do like a live Q&A or something, while we're on the road, or just a live stream for just y'all. We'll see. I'm gonna try to do something like that. Okay, other creators are getting ripped off right now, and it's legal if you don't trademark. Oh, I see what you're saying. That's terrible. That would enrage me, but I guess that's what that stuff is there for, trademarks and whatnot. I've been holed up with a broken leg. Your videos are keeping me sane while housebound. Thank you. I hate to hear that. I'm very sorry. I'm glad that you're enjoying them, but I hate that that's why you found them. So how much longer do you have before you get well? Hopefully soon. Because I've never done anything like that, but I just imagine that if you're like generally an active person, that would just make you insane. So all right, so let's see. Have a safe journey. I'm so looking forward to following along. From Shelly. Thank you, Shelly. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna I think that there may have been let's see. Okay, here we go. Given the spotty cell coverage and the trail not being marked great in some parts, do you have any changes or thoughts on catch up with you later versus don't leave a man behind? Maybe focus more on sticking together in the sketchy parts. Yeah, Lloyd, we learned on the PCT that it can get sketchy sometimes, especially when it starts getting later in the season. So I think for any sketchy areas, I learned to practice leave no man behind, and that, especially fording and things like that. So I'm sure, Perk and I will remember that now. If when I go home for graduation, he gets ahead, like I said, I won't blame him. But I think Aaron and I will definitely practice that if it ends up being just the 2 of us. So I think that a lot of it, like the first 500, I think I said 500 to 700 miles of New Mexico or of the trail is just like pretty flat. So I think we're going to be good in those sections. But yeah, later on, definitely leave no man behind is, I just I can't leave somebody behind and worry about them. But, on the PCT, I ended up kind of by myself for a little while. And, but if I'm with people I know, then certainly we'll do leave no man behind. Okay, let's see. And this one was, Ched, and we answered his. And let's see. Okay. Ken asked, what are your thoughts regarding homesickness while on trail? What has been your experience? How long did it last? You and others you may have been in contact with. Strategies. I am long-time married, 5 children, 6 grandchildren, experienced hiker and backpacker, 3 to 6 days normally. I plan to retire and THRU-HIKE the PCT in 2020. Interested in your comments. Thanks, Dixie. Yeah, so, I mean, homesickness can definitely happen. Even when you go on vacation, for example, you go for a couple weeks and you might really enjoy yourself, but there's something about just finally getting home that feels good. So when you're gone for a 5 to 6 month trip, it can get hard. And certainly, you know, if any of your children, wife, grandchildren, you know, if any people can come visit you along the way, you know, for me, I was worried about keeping my pace, and I didn't want a whole lot of visitors because it's just, it slows you down. And maybe you're hiking with people that you really enjoy being around, but if you're missing your family a lot and they can come pop in for you to take a 0 day, or maybe like meet you at some of the crossings, or slack pack you, you know, or maybe even if it's a short distance, hike with you, you know, maybe you won't care. You'll start early enough that you have enough time, and you know, you're not really worried about new people that you meet around you, and you want your family to come visit with you. That's, you know, a possibility. If they can't do that, then if you've got like, you know, smartphone and iPhone, or I was getting a phone call in, I don't know if it froze up on you. But anyway, so like if you're doing something where, sorry about that, y'all. Let's see if I can, I don't know how to, I should have put it on airplane mode before I started. Sorry, I'm getting a couple of phone calls. But anyway, so, you know, maybe if you can do something like FaceTime with your family, you know, something like that, that would be, you know, a good idea. So I think just trying to keep in touch with them as much as you can would be some way to deal with homesickness. And that's pretty much it. Otherwise, you're probably just gonna miss them. And I do. I miss my family. I miss my friends. I miss my dogs. I really miss my dogs. So let's see if we have any. I think that may have been all of the questions that I had on the folks that thought that they might not could make it. So let's see. I think so. So if I haven't, like for anybody who's watching later, if I didn't get to your video or your questions, I apologize, and message me. Something that I want to mention, and then I'll see, I think we have a couple more questions popped up here. But if, okay, while I'm on trail, if you can't get me, well, the best way to get me is to message me through Patreon. So I've mentioned before that sometimes calls will get lost, calls, Lord have mercy, y'all. Sometimes emails will get lost through email. So just because people, you know, random questions about the trail or spam and stuff like that piles in, especially when I don't check it for like a week. So emails will get lost in the shuffle. But if you message me through Patreon, I come to Patreon every so often to check in, to look at the notifications. Golly, I am so sorry. Okay, so I definitely log into Patreon to check my messages, and so that's going to be the best way for y'all to get in touch with me. So yeah, if you've emailed me and I don't get it, I'm so sorry. But definitely if you send a message through Patreon. Okay. So with that said, all right, let's see. I have a couple more. What do you think about hiking in your native land? So I haven't spent a whole lot of time. I've done a couple of day hikes in Alabama, but I definitely want to do the Pinhoti Trail. So that's something that is on my bucket list for the future. So I heard a guy's trying to set the record on it this year, the unsupported fastest FKT on it. So that might be something that I look into, you know, in the future. I don't know. I think it would be kind of cool just because it's my home state. But hold on one second, sorry. But other than that, I don't know about the Alabama. You know, there's just not a whole lot here, I guess. But the Pinhoti is definitely something that I'm interested in. So let's see. Ooh, I could trademark while Dixie's got a QA. You better not trademark my homemade wanderlust. I see you over there. Okay. You have a very cool trademark too, so I'll protect it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Safe journey, Jessica. Have a great CDT hike. Knock 'em dead. I hope so. Y'all, I am nervous, but I'm ready. I'm ready to do it. And you know, it's like I am excited about the CDT, but I am more excited about finishing the Triple Crown. That's just, it's been a long time coming. It's strange to have worked for something for so long, this hard, and you know, be like this close, but yet still so far away from finishing it. So that's what makes me so nervous, is the fact that like, I've invested so much into this, you know, but it is what it is. That just makes it even more special. So, all right. Good night, Philip. Let's see. I have a box almost ready, so get your wish list in for specifics. Want to hit you about halfway or later. That's awesome, Mike. I appreciate that. You know me, I'm easy to please. I like food, so whatever. Those chili things from Texas there are good. So let's see. Good luck, Dixie. Look forward to your journey. We'll be in touch. Awesome, awesome, awesome. What do people who hike with dogs do when they get to an area where dogs aren't allowed on trail, like in national parks? So on the AT, there are a lot of kennels that know that hikers are coming through, and that's going to be an issue. So they'll board them, and they actually have transportation services where they'll pick them up, like for the Smokies. If you're going northbound, they'll pick them up, you know, south of the Smokies, and then shuttle them and board them for you and drop them off north of the Smokies. So there are some services like that. Some people have their family come and pick them up and hold them. Some people travel home and drop them off. I mean, it's probably easier and potentially cheaper to do the kennel services. So, but there are options out there for at least the AT for sure. I don't know about the CDT. Oh, Jim meant native country. Oh, well, this country has been beautiful to hike in, but I am looking forward to seeing some things in other countries. Best of luck to you. Be safe. I think you will need some corn nuts. Yeah, Perk and I ended up liking those. I had never tried one until the PCT, for those of y'all who didn't know. Oh, no! Tuna and peanut butter, please. No, God. Okay, I'm just kidding. I have some standards for food, I guess. Yeah, peanut butter and tuna, y'all, I can't. Like, it makes me want to throw up thinking about it, honestly. And then there are people who mix them together. Oh, can't do it. Nope. Let's see. Uh-oh. There they went. Okay, let's see. Okay, chili it is. No more pink gators. Tiny Snickers, of course. Yeah, gators just, like, they don't, I feel like they don't do much for me, but stickers, guys, just send stickers. Oh, and top ramen, because, you know, people actually get mad when I call it ramen instead of ramen. But, I mean, that's like getting mad at somebody for saying coffee, you know? It's like, you know what they mean. I'm buying Snickers stock tomorrow. Yeah, maybe I should too. Okay, let's see. Jim says, God bless you, Dixie. Prayers for a safe and healthy journey. Thank you. I appreciate that. And if anybody else has any more questions, if not, then I might go ahead and close out. Let's see. Make sure that I don't have any more over here. I don't think so. Let's see. I think Darren had responded to something, but I'm not sure it was a question for Q&A. So I'll go back through those comments. So if I missed your question on here, or you had a question and you missed out on the Q&A, you forgot about it and you're seeing it now, feel free to message me and ask me the question. I'm going to go back through the comments that were left just to make sure I didn't miss any of those that were asked. I forgot to mention them on here. But let's see. It is coffee. See? No, it's coffee. I don't even know how you would spell that phonetically, but whatever. So you see what I mean. You can say things different ways. Okay, show us your tooth trick. I did already. Oh, God. Okay, ready? I'm from Alabama. I mean, that's how I prove it, you know, because when people don't believe me, I just pop out my tooth, and they're like, you're missing teeth. You are from Alabama. Just kidding. And see, people can't get mad at that because I'm from Alabama and I'm making fun of myself. But anyway, okay, enough of that. All right, y'all. Well, I guess that's it then. Like I said, I'll try to do another Q&A while we're on the road, you know, maybe at a hotel or something like that. But anyway, yeah. All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We had a pretty good bit tonight, and those were some good questions. So, as always, I appreciate so much. I mean, not only do y'all support me like through Patreon, and like monthly stuff, but just the fact that you're here, like you're logged in asking questions, that's awesome to me. And I enjoy this. This is like therapeutic, you know, for me to talk to y'all, because none of my friends and family like really care about hiking. They're just like, oh, she always talks about that, so I don't even really talk about it. So the fact that I get to sit down and talk to people about the stuff I love, so thank y'all for everything, really, because couldn't be doing the Triple Crown without you. So, and seriously, thank y'all, and have a good evening, and I will talk to y'all soon, and I will keep y'all more updated this time. So so be looking out for some silly stuff, especially starting off with the road trip. Okay, all right, bye y'all. How do I